let's start with decision modeling, right? So we all understand the challenges with marketing decisions today. It is complex. Marketing decisions are made in silos. You have a campaign manager who's working on optimizing the campaign. Then you have a channel manager who's working on optimizing the channel. And then you have a strategic brand manager who's looking at all aspects of brands. And they're all taking decisions within the silos. But in reality, all of these interact with each other. So this affects decision making. And if you want to bring all of this together, it takes more time, and there is misalignment in decision making today because of the various marketing hierarchies that you have, and it is extremely time consuming. There is trial and error, and you also bring in subjectivity and personal bias into marketing decisions. And because of this, what you're saying is you're slow to adopt to market changes, and that's why marketing strategies are not very agile today, and it takes a lot of time to pivot and change your strategy to completely to something that is completely new. Okay. So what we're trying to achieve by using AI into decision modeling is that one is integrate decision making across all hierarchies, so there is no misalignment. So when you're looking at a bunch of decisions, if let's say if I'm making a campaign optimization decision today, I would want to easily run, I should have the ability to easily check if that is affecting other campaigns that are already in flight or will be in flight. How does it affect the channel performance, other channel performances, and how does it tie in with my brand strategy and overall marketing strategies? And because of the processing power and how quickly it can analyze large volumes of data, it can help you identify overlooked opportunities for optimization. Because today, when you're making a campaign decision, campaign optimization decision, you might limit your analysis to a few parameters because of the time it takes to analyze a campaign for optimization. But with this processing power and the ability to intelligently process this information, you'll be able to identify any overlooked opportunities and streamline decisions based on any market changes that you might be seeing. And what it also does is it eliminates subjective biases or any historical biases that you might have had in your marketing over a period of time, and help you better anticipate market trends and become more proactive and forward-looking rather than just being reactive. Right. So here's an example of how decision model changed, came up with this recommendation, right? So this is for a car brand in APAC market, and what we realized that so they had three main car brands, and when we did the analysis and then we put it through the decision model, the recommendation was that spends were to be moved from two other brands to increase the brand strength of one brand, right? That is because in the other two brands, which we see as, let's call it brand N and brand T, so they had a lot of over investment happening in those brands, and the ROI was diminishing because the spends were at a point of diminishing returns. They were overspending on these brands, and that is why the model was able to recognize that there is overspending here, there is inefficiency here, but there is a real need in terms of increasing the brand strength of this particular brand. And that's why the recommendation was to reallocate spends from Tigor and Nixon to Harrier Bank, right? And again, the nuance of the decision was again further drilled down, because it's just not reallocating the spend. The recommendation was to where to reinvest the spends. So the reinvestment would come in branding, and it talked about trade shows. It talked about auto magazines, both digital and offline, and it talked about brand TV. And it could we're not talking about just traditional TV, but we're talking about OTT channels and videos and so on, right? And so now what you've done is you've taken a complex marketing setup across three brands, and you've come up with three simple recommendations, which are to be decided on. A, should I move my spends from two brands to one brand? And should I increase, is my brand for that particular car suffering? And if it is suffering, what should I do about it? So it is giving you those four decision points that you want to make. And so now your discussion is pivoted from understanding what is happening and why it is happening, to saying that, okay, this is what is happening and what can I do about it? And of course, all of this is supported by analysis in the back end. And if analysts can want to go and verify that, they will be able to verify that. But what you're essentially doing is pivoting your discussion from understanding why a particular car brand is not performing, to saying that, okay, I know it is not performing because its brand is not very strong. And I think I have a starting point for how to fix it, because I can move spends from the other two cars into this, because we are overspending on those two brands, right? So this is how AI can simplify decision modeling. And this is an example of a very strategic decision. So let's say if you want to take the same example at a campaign level, at a tactical campaign level. So you find that your campaign has a certain ROI, certain response rates, and so on. But you find that you will be able to get better response rates, better ROI by moving the same advertisement to a different channel because it has got a better audience spread. They have got better audience connection with the platform for that particular audience selection that you have. So these kind of decisions can be provided at a campaign level, at a channel level, at a category of spend level, and at an overall brand or a company level. So this is how AI can bring all the aspects of marketing together and simplify decision making and make sure that the decisions are aligned across the marketing hierarchy.